What the heck is this rock and why is NASA looking for it on Mars? This is a stromatolite, and it might be one of the oldest signs for life on Earth, and maybe even on Mars. So how does a rock like this hold the secrets of life in our solar system? Let's find out. Stromatolites are almost like microbial time machines. Starting billions of years ago, microscopic life forms called cyanobacteria lived in shallow water. These cyanobacteria photosynthesized and took carbon dioxide out of the water around them. That would make the water less acidic and trigger the formation of calcium carbonate, which is what this stromatolite is made out of. Over time, layers of carbonate and sediment would alternate, making almost a rock lasagna that resulted in the formation of this rock. Some stromatolites are over 3.5 billion years old and are some of the earliest life forms that we see in our fossil record on Earth. Now, how do I know that this is a stromatolite and not just some other random rock? Let me show you with one of the oldest tricks in the book that geologists have. This is hydrochloric acid, 10%, and let me show you what happens when I add it to this really old stromatolite. Do you see that fizz? That was the hydrochloric acid reacting with the calcium carbonate in this rock, creating water and then carbon dioxide gas and calcium chloride on the side. This tells me that there's carbonate material in this, just like many ancient stromatolites. So this is why it's a really common tool for geologists to use to tell if there's carbonate material in rocks. That's why using hydrochloric acid is a really easy way to tell if a rock could be biologically influenced, like in this case, in a stromatolite. But here's a really important caveat. Not all rocks that have calcium carbonate in them, like this stromatolite, are biologically influenced. And that's why the fizz test is just a clue. You need multiple elements together, like textures and geologic context, to form a really solid case for life. And this is where Mars comes in. NASA's Perseverance rover is in Jezero Crater, which used to be an ancient lake with a delta, a water source coming in. And if Mars had microbial life, this would be a great place for this rover to look. That's why they selected it as a landing site. And obviously, scientists thought about exactly how they wanted to look for signs of life, and they put a great instrument suite on the rover to do that. The two main ones I'll focus on are Mastcam-Z and the Sherlock instrument. Mastcam-Z is a zoomable stereo camera that is really good at looking for structures like this in rocks. That would be one of our first clues to look for evidence of life on Mars. And then there's Sherlock, which is a laser spectroscopy instrument that looks specifically for biosignatures on Mars. So if Mastcam-Z finds images of structures that look like stromatolites, and then Sherlock finds organic molecules in that same rock, that would be a really strong case for fossilized life on Mars. So yeah, this rock looks ordinary, but it holds clues for Earth's earliest forms of life. And now, rocks like these are guiding how we search for life on other planets. So stay curious, always look up, and remember that some of the most important clues in the universe might already be in your hand. I'm the Cosmic Geologist, and I'll see you next time.